Hi there, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Jack show, where we answer the questions that you ask. Today, we are going to go back to a topic that is becoming a little more popular lately, the topic of Alzheimer's. Another patient came in kind of talking about the things that we had talked about lately, and she has a little history of it in her family and wants to know what she can do to kind of avoid some of the potential that she might have of doing Alzheimer's. And I came across this really great study that was done just a couple years ago, and the results are really awesome. So let's talk about this. Now, everybody knows that sugar and high carbohydrate foods are going to lead to diabetes. That's pretty much a given. And they do that because they raise your blood sugar so much that they cause your pancreas to over-secrete the insulin, and it just works too hard and basically eventually just gets destroyed. So what these authors of this particular study noticed was that it was particularly true of the Alzheimer's patients they were studying, that they were having diabetic problems also. So what they did was they took some mice that they had bred to be getting Alzheimer's. So it's basically the same type of, they're trying to create the same type of environment as if you have a family that is more prone to Alzheimer's. And they fed these mice high-carb diets. And what they noticed was the changes in their brains that started going towards the Alzheimer's type of situations, they started to increase the more the carbohydrate, or the higher the concentration of carbohydrates in their diet. So that was a pretty substantial study. Basically, it's this amyloid plaque that they really focused on. I don't want to get too technical here, but that's the thing that kind of causes the hippocampus centers in the brain and leads to the symptoms that we consider Alzheimer's. So what they concluded is that if you stay away from high carbohydrate, high sugar foods, you have a much better chance of avoiding that type of issue in your life. So what are high carbohydrate foods? Fruit. Now, berries are an exception. So you want to stay away from most fruit, but you can still eat berries. Grains, so that includes breads and chips and cereals. Okay, anything that's made with a grain is going to be a high carbohydrate food. And lastly is sugar, so that includes regular sugar, which I'm sure you're aware of, but also honey and syrup, so that anything with high fructose corn syrup and that type of thing. And then some sweeteners that don't cause an elevation in blood sugar, such as xylitol and stevia. So these seem to be okay. However, you really got to watch those because there's other factors that might play into whether or not you want to have those in your diet. But anyway, I thought that was an amazing study. I was excited to get this information. Again, if you have any questions that you would like me to do some research on and address, my email address is AskDrJackB. That's AskDrJackBee@gmail.com. You can call the office at 402-333-4848. We're here in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a chiropractor. And you can stop in the office and ask in person, which is the way we get most of our questions. Okay, that's it for this episode of Ask Dr. Jack. I'm Dr. Jack Belitz, and I'm hoping you have a very happy and healthy day.